Yayo! What's good with ya? Yo, what up, guys? It's Dreams here, and today I'm going to be bringing you in something a little different than we normally look at on my channel, which is going to be MOAB gameplays. But today we're going to be taking a look at what the best classes are in Modern Warfare 3 are going to be towards getting those MOABs. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first class that I have selected here is going to be the ACR Silencer with Focus. Of course, when we're getting MOABs, or these top 5 classes right here that I have, they're all going to have a silencer on there. And then once we cover these top 5, I'm going to show you guys a couple loud classes that you could go with. That would also be a good choice if you didn't want to go with the silencer. So first off here, we're going to have the ACR Silencer with Focus. What Focus is going to let us do is get less view kick when we're getting into engagements with enemies at longer range, since the silencer is going to decrease this weapon's effective range, which basically means the bullets coming out of this weapon are not going to carry as much damage onto a target outside of its effective range. So with the silencer, it's going to lessen that. So what the Focus is going to allow us to do is get less view kick and stay on target longer to go ahead and finish off those kills. Next, we're going to be looking at the MP9 with silencer. Great secondary weapon. I'd highly recommend using it. The FMG9s are just kind of they're just kind of cheesy at this point, but this MP9 is a great alternative to that with the silencer. Next, we're going to be looking at some equipment and grenades. So what I like to do is use the Semtex because it has a shorter fuse on it, and I like to, in my gameplays, I like to push the spawns, clear them out, and then I immediately like to go pushing towards the next spawn. So having this shorter fuse on this Semtex is going to work out great for that when I need to get something off quick to maybe keep the enemy at bay long enough to get off a quick reload or get around the corner. Next, we're going to be using the portable radar, which is amazing since we can just throw that down anywhere on the map. We can still continue to move around the map as usual, but when the spawns flip back over into that area, that portable radar is going to immediately be picking up the enemies. So when we're walking around and we're not seeing any enemies, it's probably because the spawns have flipped, and so that portable radar is going to be able to pick them up back over where they flipped. Or where you originally started patrolling the map from. Next, we're going to be using Scavenger Pro. A great perks. It's what having the Pro version is going to allow you to do is start with extra mags or extra ammo off the bat, which is of course going to be helpful for getting us up to that specialist bonus, and then of course being able to supply your ammo throughout the rest of the game. Next, we're going to be using Hardline so we can get our first kill streak as soon as possible. Also, if sometimes you get into these lobbies and the connections just aren't that great, so you'll find yourself getting a lot of assists. Well, getting 2 assists with this Hardline is going to allow you to go ahead and pick up that first kill towards your streak. And then lastly, we're going to be using Stalker Pro, which is an amazing perk, which I've talked about a little bit before in my videos, and I'll probably do something else maybe a little bit later on in one of my future videos about how important it is to learn how to incorporate a strafe into your shot, which Stalker is going to allow you to do. It's going to speed up that strafe. Also, having the Pro version is going to delay the detection on enemy explosives, so you can basically run through claymores, bouncing betties, all that kind of stuff. So if there's some people playing back defensive, hiding on the other team, you're going to be able to just run right through that, take them out quickly, and then keep on moving. So let's look at the actual kill streaks that I'm going to be using for my specialist bonus on this ACR class. So first, we're going to have Assassin, because we don't want to show up on the radar. Second, we're going to have Quick Draw Pro, which I really love to go with Quick Draw Pro as my second perk on these assault rifles, just because with the assault rifles you're not going to have quite as much mobility as you do with the SMG, so being able to get your sights up are just going to help you win those gunfights that much quicker. And then lastly, of course, we're going to have Sleight of Hand Pro, which is going to allow us to reload our weapon quicker and also switch off to our secondary weapon quicker, which is also going to be very, very beneficial, since when we go for these MOAB gameplays, we do have to get all kills with our weapons and our equipment or grenades. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the second class that I have set up for you guys, and this is going to be the Scar. With this weapon, we're going to be using the extended mags with the silencer with the attachments proficiency. Absolutely amazing weapon gun, absolutely amazing setup. We're going to have the MP9 again. We're going to use the Semtex with the portable radar, so nothing changed there. We're going to have Scavenger, Hardline, Stalker Pro. Then we're going to be running with Assassin, Quick Draw, and Sleight of Hand. So this is actually going to be the same setup as the ACR because they're very similar weapons. The only difference here is we're going to be using attachments with the silencer and extended, which works out very well on this weapon. It works decently on the ACR, but I just prefer focus, and I think it'd be a lot better for you guys to go with focus with the silencer versus the extended mags and the silencer on the ACR. So you know, just keep that in mind. So you can change that out if you want. That's just what I think would be in the best interest for you guys to make it as easy as possible. So here we go, guys. This is going to be the third class towards getting a MOAB here, and this is probably my most requested class setup. I have a lot of comments on this. My AK video on Hard Hat is my most viewed, favorited, liked video by far. So I really appreciate the love you guys have shown that video. And I will be coming out with a new AK MOAB video here in the next day or two, which I actually got, I believe it was yesterday, playing against a team of or playing against a clan that was doing a clan op, and boy were these guys pissed. But so let's go ahead and take a look at my AK class setup, guys. So this is it. This is the one you guys been asking for. So here we go. We're gonna have the AK. We're gonna have the silencer. Proficiency is gonna be kick on this weapon. With the other weapon like the ACR, we were gonna go with focus, but with this AK-47, we're really gonna need kick. It's so effective on this weapon. It's going to keep the recoil to a minimum. It's really going to help those shots connect and be able to finish off some enemies. For the secondary, we're going to have the MP9 silencer, Semtex with portable radar. This one we're going to have something a little different. My first perk is going to be Sleight of Hand Pro, so that way we can switch out to our secondary faster, and we can get a fast reload since we're not going to have extended mags. And the reload on this AK is kind of slow if you don't have sleight of hand on it. So I definitely recommend having sleight of hand on this AK. Next, we're going to have hardline, just to get, as I said earlier, get us to our first kill streak quicker. And then, of course, we're going to have stalker so that we can outstrafe our opponents and finish them off, going that route versus using dead silence or another perk like that, which is going to make it a lot harder to outstrafe an enemy. So next we're going to have Assassin, Quick Draw, and then Scavenger. So we've actually switched out Sleight of Hand and Scavenger for this AK class. And this is probably one of my favorite classes in the game, guys. So here this one is. Definitely try it out. And so next we're going to be looking at the G36. With this G36, I like to run the attachments on it. And this is, I recently posted a flawless MOAB with this same class setup with the attachments G36 on carbon. So if you guys haven't seen that video yet, go ahead and check that out. And so with this, we're going to be using the silencer red dot with the MP9 Semtex portable radar. This one as well, we're also going to be using Sleight of Hand Pro versus the Scavenger. We're going to pair that with Stalker and Hardline, which a lot of these are pretty much a staple, are going to be a staple on these assault rifle classes. The Stalkers are great. The Sleight of Hand's great. The Assassin, the Quick Draw, they all go really well towards complementing the weapon that you're going to be using, and that's going to help you out a lot, being able to get some higher kill streaks. And the last class setup that I've put together here for my top 5 best MOAB classes in the game is actually going to be this MP7, and this thing is just absolutely amazing. So recently, or fairly recently, it was discovered that the rapid fire on the MP7 only gives you about a 10-11% increase of your fire rate. So it's actually going to be much more effective to go ahead and throw a silencer with extended mags on this MP7. And this thing is basically like a pocket ACR, guys. So it's absolutely amazing. Definitely try it out. If you've been using rapid fire, switch out that rapid fire for extended mags with the silencer and see what kind of success you get. Of course, and then the secondary, it's not going to be the FMG9. I was just messing around with it. It's going to be the MP9 as well with the silencer. Semtex portable. This one, for our first perk, we're going to be back with Scavenger to get those extra mags from our starting port or off our spawn hardline. Thirdly, on this one, we're going to be using steady aim. Since this is the SMG, we're going to be rushing around a lot more, playing a lot more aggressively than we would be with the assault rifles. So, and the hip fire is not that great on this MP7 out of the box, but when you put steady aim pro on it, it's going to push that steady aim over the edge to be able to pick up those close quarters kills where you don't have time to bring up your sights, as well as you're going to be able to pull up your sights quicker coming out of a sprint. So that's going to help tremendously. And also on this SMG class, of course, first we're going to be going with Assassin. Second, we're going to be going with Sleight of Hand to get those reloads in quicker and switch to our secondary. And thirdly, we're going to be using Stalker. So with this SMG class, the thing you're not going to see is actually going to be Quick Draw, because these SMGs have such a high mobility. Regardless, Quick Draw is not really a necessity, and there's other perks that can help you out a lot more, such as, you know, Stalker, steady aim, anything like that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, but right before we finish up here, let's go ahead and take a look at some classes if you wanted to go loud. And so let's go ahead and take a look at these. I had to switch over here to my other class setup. So if you want to go loud, this is a phenomenal class setup. A lot of people don't like this, but I know it was recently patched, I believe, or so I've heard that it was recently patched, and that's going to be the Type 95 rapid fire with the red dot. Absolute monster class. Absolute beast class setup if you want to go loud. I should kind of put a disclaimer out there, and this is why I saved this for last. If you guys do want to go loud on getting your MOABs, it will be substantially harder to get a MOAB with an unsilenced weapon, but these classes still are great for that if you can pair that with the awareness and everything, or the little extra awareness you need to have if you're going to use an unsilenced weapon and be going for MOABs. So we're going to have the rapid fire with the red dot, Semtex, portable, sleight of hand, hardline, Stalker. We're going to be using the standard at the bottom, except on the last perk I actually am going to change that out for steady aim pro, so we're not going to see Scavenger on this class. And that's just because with this 3-round burst, it kills so quickly. It's really not going to take that much ammo to get you up to 7 kills, especially if you might get a kill or two with your secondary as well due to the sleight of hand. So, and also that steady aim pro is going to allow you to come out of a sprint and get those sights up extra quick, so you can almost kind of quick scope with this weapon. And then second, we're going to have the ACR going loud. When we go loud, we're going to use the red dot with the focus. Everything else is pretty much going to stay the same, except for the last perk on the specialist. I am going to be using marksman on that instead of scavenger. That's just because since we're going loud with the weapon, we're not going to need as many rounds to put off. So, you know, as I said before, there's other perks that can help you a lot more than scavenger if you're going to be going loud with the weapon. And then the last thing that I wanted to throw in really quickly, which is it's a great class. I just wouldn't say it was in the top 5 just because I prefer the MP7 more. But this is also a great silence setup to go with for a MOAB, which is going to be the PP90. We're going to have attachments with the silencer and the extended mags. We're going to be starting out with Scavenger, and on this one we're actually going to be starting out with Assassin, because on this weapon I love to start it out with Steady Aim Pro, because Steady Aim Pro is just so effective on this weapon. It's just ridiculous. So off the bat, I'm going to love to be rushing right into their spawn. That Steady Aim Pro is going to help me be able to pick up those kills without having to aim down my sights. Second off, we're going to be starting with Sleight of Hand Pro for the specialist bonus, then Hardline, and then we're going to actually jump into some Dead Silence. And that's just because since we're starting with Steady Aim Pro, and this weapon is very effective at close range, which is why I didn't put it in my top 5 that I showed you guys at the beginning, is because this weapon kind of suffers over long range, but it's very, very superior at close range. So I'm going to be able to rush with dead silence on. They're not going to be able to hear me coming, and I'm going to have that steady aim working to my advantage. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope these class setups will be able to help you guys even more out towards getting your own MOABs. So if you guys enjoy this video and it helps you out, or you know, maybe if you guys have already tried some of these out and you know that they work as well, I appreciate it when you guys throw the video a like, or you know, whatever you guys feel like doing. I appreciate it when you guys do that. And if you guys want to see more videos like this from me, just hit the subscribe button so that when I release a new video, you'll be the first to know. This has been Dreams. Until next time.